Thank you, Jean-Paul. I'm glad to have this opportunity to introduce this session on flexicurity with a few remarks on the welfare state. As you all know, in neoclassical thinking, the welfare state is taken to be the main source of some of the worst economic problems found in continental Western Europe. Now, I don't agree with the usual neoclassical analysis, so I'd like to take this opportunity to explain why I don't agree with it. But the fact that I don't agree with the usual neoclassical analysis doesn't mean that I think that the welfare state is costless. As a matter of fact, I think it does have some costs, though I'm inclined to think that it's not the most important thing out there standing in the way of outstanding economic performance. I have 3 points to make. The first is that in analyzing the employment effects of the welfare state, we have to think not only about the after-tax wage, but we also have to think about household wealth. It's obvious that on the great day when the welfare state is created, and a proportional payroll tax is introduced to pay for it, that the after-tax wage rate, everyone's after-tax wage rate, drops as a result of the tax. And many neoclassical economists seem to think that that's enough, that they can sit down at that point. They've demonstrated that employment falls as a result of the Pigovian excess burden of the proportional wage income tax. But I think that conclusion is warranted only in the short run when household wealth is unchanged. Gradually over time, as a result of the reduction of disposable income, household saving as well as household consumption are going to be reduced, so that over time wealth is going to be lower and lower in relation to what it would have been, until finally the wealth to after-tax wage ratio has fallen back to where it was before. Or in other words, eventually the after-tax wage rate relative to wealth will have climbed back thanks to the decay of the denominator. So from this point of view, it looks like the welfare state is completely neutral, which is indeed what a number of commentators assume to be the case. But I don't think that's exactly right either. We must not forget that the benefits of the welfare state are also likely to have impacts on economic behavior, including supply of saving, the supply of effort, et cetera, et cetera. The benefits of the welfare state, the entitlements, constitute a kind of a social wealth, just like stocks and bonds and private insurance policies constitute private wealth, and the effect of that, and the effect of the creation of this social wealth overnight with a stroke of a pen is undoubtedly to reduce the supply of saving, reduce the supply of work, and if we leave the neoclassical framework, possibly to impact on all sorts of things in the workplace: employee engagement, zeal to climb up the ladder to a higher wage scale. All sorts of things. Maybe the dynamism of the workplace would be adversely affected. So that's it seems to me that's what we have to focus upon, is the effect of the benefits, the entitlements, the good things that we look to the welfare state to produce. We have to think about the side effects of those on economic performance, in addition to the direct social benefits of the programs. The other thing is that the tax rates introduced to pay for the welfare state are very commonly not proportional. Very often there is a note of progressivity in the tax rates, and progressivity in the benefits too. If you break your leg, you get it fixed to a degree that's independent of whether you're a low-income person or a high-income person. So a sharp change in progressivity has been introduced by the welfare state, and presumably that also has effects not only for labor force participation and possibly for incentives not to quit, incentives not to shirk, and so forth, but also the dynamism that goes on in the workplace. So, coming now to, in my remaining minute or two, coming to flexicurity, or curity. Security, flexicurity. Oh, flexicurity. Oh, well, let's work on the pronunciation later. I don't want to have my 8 minutes charged while we, flexicurity. Sounds right. It seems to me that flexicurity doesn't solve the problem of progressivity, and it doesn't solve the sheer problem that you've created all that social wealth at the stroke of a pen, which, so to speak, in putting people on easy street up to a point, costs something in terms of their hunger to succeed, their zeal to excel, their desire to climb up the greasy pole, and then, I mean, it seems to me that the thing that flexicurity does address is the failure of the welfare state as presently designed to require people to engage in training once they've lost their job, so that they won't be a drain on the state forever. That seems to me to be the sole contribution of the idea of flexicurity, but I'll look forward to hearing more. Thank you very much.